Welcome to the channel where we help you ace your CDL exams. If you are preparing for the CDL test in 2023, you are in the right place. In this video, we will be tackling the most important air brake test knowledge questions so you can test your understanding and be fully prepared. There are two mock exams with valuable questions and answers. These exams consist of 25 carefully selected questions. Remember, you will need to get at least 20 correct answers to pass, which is an 80% score. Stay engaged and keep track of your progress as you watch and let us know how many questions you could not answer correctly from this first mock exam in the comment section below. Let's start the first mock test. Which of the following components is responsible for converting air pressure into mechanical force to apply the brakes? Brake chambers, brake pedal, air compressor, brake drums. The correct answer is brake chambers. What is the purpose of the drain valves in an air brake system? To regulate air pressure, to release air pressure, to remove moisture and contaminants from the system, to control brake pedal pressure. The correct answer is to remove moisture and contaminants from the system. Which of the following actions can cause the air pressure to decrease in an air brake system? Applying the brakes, releasing the brakes, using the parking brake, engaging the engine brake. The correct answer is releasing the brakes. What is the primary function of the air brake slack adjusters? To adjust the air pressure in the system, to control the braking force applied to the wheels, to release the brakes when the pedal is pressed, to generate compressed air for the system. The correct answer is to control the braking force applied to the wheels. What does the low air pressure warning light indicate in an air brake system? Low air pressure in the brake system, high air pressure in the brake system failure, brake system overheating. The correct answer is low air pressure in the brake system. What should you do if the low air pressure warning light comes on while driving? Immediately apply the brakes, continue driving but reduce speed, stop the vehicle and safely park, increase engine RPM. The correct answer is stop the vehicle and safely park. What is the purpose of the supply reservoir in an air brake system? To store compressed air for future use, to cool down the air before it enters the brake chamber, to regulate the air pressure in the system, to control the braking force applied to the wheels. The correct answer is to store compressed air for future use. Which of the following actions can help prevent air brake system freeze up in cold weather? Applying the brakes frequently, keeping the air reservoirs partially empty, draining water from the air tanks, applying engine oil to the brake lines. The correct answer is draining water from the air tanks. What is the purpose of the one-way check valve in an air brake system? To regulate air pressure, to release air pressure, to remove moisture and contaminants from the system, to prevent air from flowing back into the compressor. The correct answer is to prevent air from flowing back into the compressor. What is the function of the service brake system in an air brake system? To control the brake pedal pressure, to apply the brakes during normal driving, to release the brakes when the pedal is pressed, to generate compressed air for the system. The correct answer is to apply the brakes during normal driving. What does the air compressor do in an air brake system? Regulates the air pressure in the system, generates compressed air for the system, controls the brake pedal pressure, release the brake when the pedal is pressed. The correct answer is generates compressed air for the system. What is the purpose of the air reservoirs in an air brake system? To store compressed air for future use, to cool down the air before it enters the brake chamber, to regulate the air pressure in the system, to control the braking force applied to the wheels. The correct answer is to store compressed air for future use. What is the purpose of the governor in an air brake system? To regulate the air pressure in the system, to control the brake pedal's pressure, to release the brakes when the pedal is pressed, to generate compressed air for the system. The correct answer is to regulate the air pressure in the system. What is the purpose of the air brake system slack adjusters? To adjust the braking force applied to the wheels, to regulate the air pressure in the system, to release the brakes when the pedal is pressed, to generate compressed air for the system. The correct answer is to adjust the braking force applied to the wheels. What is the purpose of the emergency brake valve in an air brake system? To regulate the air pressure in the system, to control the brake pedal pressure, to release the brakes when the pedal is pressed, to apply the brakes in case of an emergency. The correct answer is to apply the brakes in case of an emergency. When should you drain the air tanks on an air brake system? At the end of each workday, before starting a trip, once a week, only if the air pressure is low. The correct answer is before starting a trip. What is the purpose of the air compressor in an air brake system? To generate compressed air for the system, to control the brake pedal pressure, to release the brakes when the pedal is pressed, to regulate air pressure in the system. The correct answer is to generate compressed air for the system. What does the governor in an air brake system control? Brake pedal pressure, air pressure in the system, brake chamber operation, compressor oil level. The correct answer is air pressure in the system. What should you do if the air pressure drops too low while driving? Apply the brakes firmly, continue driving but reduce speed, stop the vehicle and safely park, increase engine RPM. The correct answer is stop the vehicle and safely park. What is the purpose of the air brake relay valve? To control air pressure in the system, to release the brakes when the pedal is pressed, to apply the brakes during normal driving, to regulate brake chamber operation. The correct answer is to regulate brake chamber operation. What happens if the air compressor develops a leak? The brakes will engage automatically, the air pressure in the system will decrease, the governor will shut off the compressor, the air tanks will overfill. The correct answer is the air pressure in the system will decrease. What should you do if the air brake system loses pressure while driving? Apply the brakes firmly, use the parking brake, pump the brake pedal, downshift, and use engine braking. The correct answer is downshift and use engine braking. What does the emergency brake control do in an air brake system? Activates the service brakes, releases air pressure from the system, engages the parking brake, regulates brake chamber operation. The correct answer is engages the parking brake. What is the purpose of the alcohol evaporator in an air brake system? To cool down the air before it enters the brake chamber, to reduce the risk of the brake system freeze up, to remove moisture and contaminants from the system, to generate compressed air for the system. The correct answer is to reduce the risk of brake system freeze up. What is the proper way to test the air brake system before starting a trip? Check the oil level in the air compressor. Listen for air leaks in the brake lines. Depress the brake pedal and ensure proper pressure buildup. Inspect the brake chambers for proper operation. The correct answer is depress the brake pedal and ensure proper pressure buildup. This is the end of the first mock test. And don't forget to let us know in the comments how you fared in the first mock exam.